Hey there, happy new year and welcome to Main Street Living. I am Cheryl Nelson.
Hey guys, I'm Quincy Carr.
And I'm Danielle Alvari.
You guys, how about the new open? Don't you love it with all the pictures and videos and all of us in there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember when we shot it and when we put it together. It's a lot of laughing going on, so we definitely got to keep that theme up this year.
Yeah, starting the new year off with a bang. I love it.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, New Year's resolutions, everybody's talking about it this time of the year. Have you guys decided what you want to do to be better in 2023?
Mine is just simple. It's just continuing to try to wake up and be better than I was the day before. That's all I can
Aw,
ask. Yeah.
Mine is
cute.
to stretch every day physically, but also stretch outside my comfort zone.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Those are good, guys. And mine is to try not to worry about things I cannot control, the serenity
Yes.
prayer. That's what I got to try to do better on this year.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's a tough one because I know you, Cheryl.
Well, we have a good show for you then today, Cheryl.
We do. Coming up today on Main Street Living, we're going to start off the new year healthy with some fresh fruit.
And we'll see why your New Year's resolution should include health, learning, and being more successful.
That's right. We have lots of experts on today's show. But first, you can make those resolutions stick coming up.
Welcome back to Main Street Living. Danielle, Quincy, we all know the phrase new year, new you. And a lot of us really do start out with the intention of getting healthy and fit in the new year. But sometimes sticking to those goals is harder than it sounds.
Yes, and fitness expert Alexis Perkins is here to offer some support with our health aspirations for the new year. Please welcome in Alexis Perkins. Alexis, thanks for joining us on Main Street Living.
No problem. I'm really excited to be here. I get pumped for the new year, so this is definitely the right time.
All right, so get us pumped to tell the viewers about your background, how you got started in the fitness industry.
Yeah, well, I've been exposed to the fitness industry since I was young. My mother taught high-low aerobics, and I think I still have her leg warmers. But since then, I've taught Zumba all over the world. I've done group exercise, personal training, owned a fitness studio. I'm currently the founder and creative director of Chair One Fitness, and I work with those who have disabilities or who are differently able to keep them in shape as well. So a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but everything has all been in the health and wellness industry.
Got you. Well, Alexis, you as you mentioned, you do a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but you're also hosting a podcast show on your view called "We Are Living Healthy." So, what kinds of things are you talking about on the show?
Yes, I absolutely love living healthy because we not only talk about great ways to stay in shape, but we get to talk to doctors and therapists, and we cover you all across the board. So no matter what you have, we're always going to be giving great information. And I always love it when we go pay a visit to a different cafe or a location or a new fitness program. So we really like to give our viewers great information and an awesome experience.
And this is, of course, the time of year when a lot of attention turns to healthier living and healthy habits. What do you see people trying to do differently in a new year?
Of course, everybody, new year, new you, new body. I'm going to do better. And then it comes down to like 5 days in and you're like, oops, I messed that up. And so I think the best thing for people to remember is that when it comes down to being healthy, it is not something that you can just go to the store and buy. It's not something that you just attain. It's something that you maintain through your habits and through all of the things that you eat and all of the things that you do. And I think that when you look at it as a long haul thing, then you won't get discouraged so easily and you won't think of it as something that you quit. It's something that you must continue. So when people are trying to get pumped up for that, I think about when you think about brushing your teeth, you don't think I'm going to brush my teeth and then I'm going to be done for life. No, you wake up the next day and you do it again, because if you don't, well, that'll just be bad. So I think when you think about your healthy habits, when you eat something healthy, you have to do that again the next day and the next day. And when you are staying active, you have to think about it the next day and the next day. And I think the best thing for people to do is to figure out a way to implement it into their daily lives. How can you make this a habit that you can maintain? So don't think about the goal, think about the habit that will get you there and how you can make it something that you do daily.
Wow, well, that makes sense. I've heard the thing about, it takes 21 days to create a habit and all that. And we also know most New Year's resolutions are abandoned within the first couple of weeks in January. Why do we fail so much? Like, is it a mental thing or is it more of a physical thing?
Well, it's great that you said 21 days because science has actually stated that it is now 66 days to form a habit. So when you go into it thinking, I want to do this for at least 66 days. But I think what causes people to fail is that they don't set themselves up for success. For example, if you want to create a gym habit, where is the gym? Is it close to you? Is it far away from you? Can you go on your way to work, on your way home from work? How could you turn it into something that makes it easy and stack it onto something else? Like if you take the kids to school every day, then maybe you can go to the gym right after you drop them off, which means every morning you'll already get dressed in your gym clothes and be ready to get out the door. So making a way for it to fit into your lifestyle. And even if it's something as far as if you want to go early in the morning, make sure that you set your gym clothes out beside the bed. So when you're half sleepy and groggy, you can just roll out of bed and into your gym gear. And maybe find a battle buddy or something that you can do with people so to be more fun and social. So if you have a gym membership, find one class that you like. Just one. And if you don't know which one you like, find a friend who will go class hopping with you and see what exactly do I like? What can I do to stay moving that I enjoy? I know as I switched in and out of industries, I had to relearn, well, what do I like now? And so I went to the gym. I tried the yoga. I tried the body pump. I stumbled over some steps in body step. But it was an adventure, a fun adventure of trying to figure out what can I do to move daily. And I think no matter which one is chosen, give yourself a baby step. I'm going to go to the gym and I'm just going to do 5 minutes on the treadmill. That's it. Make it a nugget size. And as you get that 5 minutes out of the way, you might find, well, since I'm here, I might as well do 10. Or since I'm here, I might as well try this other thing. But just start. If you just commit to 5 minutes, you will find that you're going to be in there much longer.
Yeah, no, and I love what you're saying is a lot of planning, right? And failing to prepare is preparing to fail. And that's, I think, what we're talking about here. And we know, of course, speaking of the exercise, that diet and exercise go hand in hand for that healthier life. What are some simple ways that we can have a better diet?
Well, the first thing with the diet, I would say knowing your body, because many people now have different things going on. I'm not going to give a blanket description of what a person should and shouldn't do. What if they have a thyroid condition? What if they have diabetes? What if they have high blood pressure? So the first thing I would recommend is figuring out where you are. If you don't know where you're starting, you're not going to know where you're going. And then consulting with your doctor about where your vitamin level's at right now. Maybe there are certain nutrients that you would need that would help you lose weight faster or maintain your body weight or your muscle mass, depending on what your goal is. And that's the second thing, is after knowing where you are, figuring out exactly what is your goal. Do you want to lose weight and gain muscle? Do you just want to gain muscle? Do you want to tone up? Do you just want to be very thin? Which one is it? And then your diet is going to kind of conform to that. So if somebody, for example, we're going to talk about, I don't know, a woman who's trying to lose weight, who maybe has that little bit of extra weight around her belly, and she's like, I can't take it anymore, and I don't want to wear a waist trainer. For somebody like that, maybe increasing cardio, also increasing how much you lift weights, because the more muscle you have, the more calories your body naturally burns, and then reducing some of your carbohydrates and resetting your plate. Meaning that in America, we normally think to ourselves, we're going to have a large portion of our protein, and we're going to have some carbs over here, and we're going to have our vegetables over here. So it's usually 50% protein, 25% carbs, 25% vegetables at an average serving size. I would say flip that. So put it 50% vegetables, and then the other 25%, whatever percentage it is, 25% over there, 25% as far as the side dish, the carbohydrates, and the other side as far as the vegetables. So flipping it. And so you can still eat what you want, just change the portions of them.
See, you know exactly what you're talking about, and that's why you have that awesome podcast, We Are Living Healthy. Really quick, how can viewers find it and listen to it?
Yes, We Are Living Healthy is so easy to find. It's on, you can just download the podcast app on your phone, put in We Are Living Healthy, and it'll pop right up. We're also on Facebook. We're also on Instagram. So definitely tune in for all the latest tips and information.
Nice. Awesome. Thank you again, Alexis, for stopping by. I feel inspired.
I'm glad. Get inspired. Let's do this.
All right. Cool. Well, Danielle, aren't you glad we are getting in shape?
Oh, we did it.
Yeah, I did it because that's what's coming up next. Oranges for all. Orange, you happy? That doesn't make sense. We'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back to Main Street Living. Now, ladies, we all know that money doesn't grow on trees. At least that's what my father always told me. But lots of other valuable things do, like oranges.
Oh, an orange, you say? Yes, this is very valuable. And the City Citrus Project, managed by the Baton Rouge Green, plants and cares for fruit trees in public spaces so residents can freely take the healthy fruit that they need. I love this.
Yes, and I love this part. Whatever's left is picked by volunteers and donated to local food banks. It's a win-win. You have to check this out.
We're here at Baton Rouge Green's 9th annual City Citrus Pick event. We host this event each and every year where we're utilizing the citrus of Baton Rouge. We partner with dozens of different homeowners across the city and the parish to pick thousands of pounds of fruit. Over the past 9 years, we have harvested over 40,000 pounds of fruit, anywhere from 2,500 to 6,500 pounds of fruit a year. We hope this year to hit over 5,000 pounds.
Baton Rouge Green is a 501c3 nonprofit formed in 1987 here in Baton Rouge to help preserve the existing urban canopy, and in some cases, if we can, grow the canopy for all the benefits that trees provide the citizens here. I think that we're kind of a special little organization and that we get to focus on such a valuable and interesting topic.
We get together about 100 volunteers and we send them out to dozens of different houses that have citrus, that have maybe too much citrus, maybe it's an elderly family who can't pick all the citrus anymore. And we go and we pick that citrus and we're able to bring that to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank. And we have a good partnership with them.
This car's going to Site 9, 3 boxes.
We're giving these volunteers the tools, the boxes, and safety information, proper picking information that they need, and then we pair them with a homeowner, with a resident who has just too much citrus to utilize.
In an effort to kind of use underused green space and make it more productive into an edible landscape, we decided to try to install citrus orchards that are basically maintained by volunteers. We call them citrus shepherds, and try to provide basically what we call an open source fruit method via those trees for anybody who's either going by, or if those are businesses or schools, we encourage them to harvest them and share them with their community.
And the citrus you see here are not going to just stay here in East Baton Rouge Parish. It's going to go to 11 different parishes across Southeast Louisiana. And sometimes this is the only fresh food that is given out during the holiday season here in Southeast Louisiana. We get calls from across the region. We get calls from food pantries, smaller food banks, saying, hey, this really makes us, we have all kinds of good food, but we don't have any fresh fruit or fresh veggies to give out to these people in need during the holiday season. But because of this event, this passion project of ours, it's been really quite nice and makes us feel really good.
Wow. First of all, great package. Secondly, Cheryl, I did not realize you actually pulled out an orange in the intro.
I'm so jealous because it looks so good. But you can find out more about City Citrus Pick and all the great work being done at BatonRougeGreen.com.
They're doing so much good stuff, guys, and these oranges are really good. So you got to check them out. All right, coming up next on Main Street Living, did you resolve to be more successful this year? We'll talk about it next.
Hey guys, welcome back to Main Street Living. Now, Danielle, Cheryl, we are talking a lot about resolutions today, of course. And the most popular New Year's resolution usually revolves around health and fitness, but coming in close behind are goals around becoming more successful in the new year. I know that's one of my goals.
Oh my gosh, me too. Absolutely. And these success oriented goals can be a little more complicated than our diet and exercise goals. Leadership coach Yennie Rautenberg-Loya has some helpful tips. We want to welcome her to Main Street Living. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Super excited to be here.
All right, so setting resolutions for the new year is a long-standing tradition, but they rarely seem to stick with us for more than a few weeks. Why do we feel so compelled to start new every January?
Yeah, if we look back in history, I mean, the tradition of setting New Year's resolution goes back thousands of years ago. And it's always this idea of ending something and starting something hopefully fresh and new. So we all take the new year as an opportunity to, kind of close what worked, what didn't work from last year. And then how can we improve now that we are starting a new year, right? And sometimes it's about new starts all the time. It can be the new year, new week, new month. But we are looking ahead. What is our life going to be about the next 12 months? And the reality about resolutions is that most likely we have that list. And if we go years back, the list is going to be pretty much the same, right? Like we have the same resolutions over and over. And if we look into statistics, about 50% of people in the US create New Year's resolution. Only about 8% actually complete those resolutions or fulfill them. So
I feel called out.
Yeah. Working about it, right?
Definitely. So I love what you said too about looking back on the last year and seeing what didn't work for us, right? So not necessarily focusing on the past, but just noting what didn't work well for me and how can I approach it now? What are some ways we can actually move forward toward our goal this year?
Yeah, well, one of the things that I always suggest is instead of looking at resolutions, which we know we have a history with and it's not very productive or effective, looking into creating an intention for the year. So instead of having 10, 12, how many resolutions we make, what about creating one intention? And that intention might be connect more with people, or find peace of mind, or take care of my health and well-being. Now, if you create that as a theme for the year, you can then start to take actions and make decisions based on that intention, as opposed to having a list of things to do. It creates more of a perspective and a way of looking at your year in that way. And it's easy to remember, right? Like, is this decision that I'm about to take aligned with that intention of getting peace of mind or being more healthy and active? And that can also make it easier to go through the year and accomplish more things, focus on that intention.
So are you saying intention as we'll say, less intimidating word for goals, and it makes it easier to achieve because of that?
Well, more than the word itself, it's a commitment that you create with yourself, and it's kind of a bigger context. So inside of that intention, you create your goals, but you create let's say it's a theme for the year. So based on that theme, you can build your goals. And when we talk about goals, I always like to use the framework of SMART goals, which stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. So if you are looking at your goals, you want to make sure that those goals that you create are actually in alignment with that intention that you set for the year. And if it's not, you can decide to not take on that goal and maybe put it on hold and focus on the things that you said you are committed to doing this year.
Yeah, and I'm so glad you brought that up because I love SMART goals and I know which letter I struggle with the most, which is attainable. Sometimes I try to set a goal that's way too big and
Yeah.
cannot be accomplished in the time that I've set. So I'm always trying to make sure that I set myself up for success by making it something that can be accomplished in that time. I know that when we set fitness goals, one piece of advice is to work out with a partner to keep you more accountable. Can
Mhm.
that same principle apply to our success goals?
It really applies to everything. For some reason, as human beings, we tend to be better at keeping our promises to other people than keeping them to ourselves. So, working with someone who can hold us accountable, who can actually partner with, right? Because if it's about, let's say, being healthier, you can arrange walks with someone that is committed to the same thing as you are. The same goes to building a business, to cleaning up your garage, or whatever goals you have for the year. So working with someone, and sometimes also makes it fun.
Yeah, it does. Or it can be somebody like your mom who says, "Hey, have you done this yet?" And they keep reminding you over and over, which I find hilarious. Love my mom, by the way. But as we wrap things up here, calling a professional is always a good idea and can get you some help. And so, what are some of the programs that you offer to help your clients succeed? And how can our viewers get in touch with you?
Yeah, so there are different things and ways to go about this. I offer workshops and webinars around how to set goals and how to build your plan for the year. I also work one-on-one with people to not only set the goals at the beginning of the year, but actually throughout the year, have this accountability partnership to make sure that you're following through. And I work a lot with companies that they bring me in during performance review periods, for example, which happens sometimes at the beginning of the year, and help people create their goals for the years. And it can be performance goals or development goals. But the way to find me is in Rautenberg Coach, and they can also follow me on Instagram at Rautenberg Coach. So I would be super happy to talk to your audience about this.
Thank you so much, Yennie. We so appreciate you for joining us, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too, and create a great intention for the year so you can follow your dream and what you're committed to.
Will
Love
do.
that. Thank you so much. So much positivity, and I want to keep that going, of course, into the next block. So up next, we're going to visit a unique store for our veterans.
Hey guys, welcome back to Main Street Living. Now, ladies, the reality is there are a lot of options for shopping these days. And I'm sure buying things online has gotten more popular than ever, don't you think?
Yes, and I am guilty of that. I love to shop online, but then sometimes the overall experience of just being in a store is what makes the whole shopping trip special.
That's what I love. I like to touch and feel and try things on. And that's definitely the feel you'll get when you walk into this store. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Tracy Green, and I'm owner of Legends Military Store for God and Country here in Phoenix, Arizona. I lived in France for 7 years, and while I was there, I worked at Louis Vuitton on the Champs-Élysées. When I got back to the United States, I still stayed within the luxury realm, so I started selling on the streets of New York in Manhattan. There was a gentleman who continued to come up to me and ask me to sell at the VA hospital. And I didn't know what the VA hospital was at that time, so I ended up going up there, and that was my first day selling at the VA, and I've been doing it for 10 years. So 2020 was a rough year because that's when COVID came about and the VA closed, so we didn't have any kind of income during that time. And so me and my husband, we get home and we're on the balcony just like, we cannot do this anymore. There's got to be a better way. And so I was like, you know what, there is a place right by the VA that's vacant. Let's see what'll happen if we ask them if, this place is available and we can, open something up right next to the VA. That was my dream anyway. And then due to COVID, a lot of funds were available to small businesses. So I took advantage of that, and we were blessed with a good amount of money. And so we were able to do all of this and open it up. So when you come in here, you're gonna find hats, you're gonna find pins, patches, apparel, and on top of that, a lot of customization. We do t-shirts, we do flags, we do sneakers, we do everything. My main priority was to preserve history here in this store because I feel like it's being erased. And so we have things from the Revolutionary War, artifacts from the Civil War, Vietnam. It's really awesome, the things that we have. We want to educate as well as display the store itself. Other things we do here is that we love throwing parties. Like I said before, we love the camaraderie between veterans, and that's my biggest joy, is to see them come together and just share together. This store represents, to me, a place of camaraderie and healing. It represents a safe space for veterans. It represents a place where they can come out and just unwind, relax. That's why we have the chairs, we have books. They don't have to leave, they can stay a little while, get it off their chest. This place represents a resource center because we have all kinds of information in regards to housing, benefits, lawyers, senators, anything that they need, we have connections for them as well. So come down and visit us. We're located on 9th Street and Indian School Road in downtown Phoenix. We have a lot to offer down here. And hey, why not come down and chat with us and have a glass of water?
Wow. Now that is really good. Now it's always good to look out for veterans, and I mean, they throw parties too.
Yeah.
All
I
about
know,
it.
and I feel
Love that
like-
store.
Yeah, and I love to shop, but I feel like company is even better, even richer. You can find Legends Military Store for God and Country online or in Phoenix, Arizona on East Indian School Road across from the VA.
That's right. And coming up, we're going to explore something a little bit different. Do you need a lesson on the metaverse? Stay with us. Welcome back to Main Street Living. We have talked a lot about New Year's goals today, and some people vow to be healthier or put more focus on their success. But another great goal is to learn something new.
You know, I'm glad you said that, Cheryl, because knowledge is power, and Shravangoli with Coursera is here to share a great way to enhance your education for free. I'd like to welcome you to the show. How you doing there, Mr. Goli?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Quincy. Good morning or good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah. You know, like it's great because we're talking about knowledge is power, right? So tell us about Coursera and also how viewers can take advantage of how to learn new skills.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, Coursera was started by two Stanford professors back in 2012. And Coursera today is a platform that connects a global learning ecosystem, one where there are 100 million plus learners are coming to Coursera to upskill, to reskill into in-demand jobs and careers. And so what do I mean by in-demand jobs and careers? You know, these are technology careers like software engineering or cybersecurity or cloud or leadership, etc. And these learners are coming to consume content from over 275 educator partners, and of which about 175 are top universities, example, Stanford, Michigan, Duke, and about 100 are industry partners, Meta, Google, Amazon, IBM, so on and so forth.
That's so cool. And it's so important because we know how expensive education has gotten. So the fact that there's this free available resources that people can use to advance themselves, especially in the career area. We hear you have a course called What is the Metaverse? What does it cover and how much time does it take?
Yeah, so great question. So first of all, I want to just very quickly define what Metaverse is for everyone's sake.
Please do.
We all need to be on the same baseline, right? So if you think about it, right, we've gone from desktop and from 20 plus years ago to web to mobile over the course of the last 10, 15 years. So we've gone from text to photos to video, but that isn't the end of the line. Essentially, when you think about where the world is headed and where the internet is headed, the next platform and medium will be even more immersive. So think of it as like you are transporting yourself into that experience and not just looking at it. So that's what is called metaverse. And so the whole idea here is that the individuals will be able to express themselves in new immersive ways. So think about this. Imagine you want to send your video for your kids to your parents. Now the parents can actually experience just the way you're experiencing with your kids. Inside the same room, you're with the kids. Imagine playing games, imagine meetings, etc. And so that's the whole point about metaverse. Now, with regards to the course itself, you can just go to Coursera.org. As I said, create a free account, search for what is the metaverse, and then you can just enroll and get on learning with the course itself.
Yeah,
and
well,
it's designed for anybody, like any.
okay, got you.
Any
Well,
level,
I noticed
okay.
that the course launched a few weeks ago, right? So who's taken it so far, and why do you think that they're interested?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we launched it right around Halloween, actually, and 2022. And this is among the top courses that was launched last year on Coursera. Over 35,000 learners have already enrolled in this course. And there are people from all over the world, like including US, India, Pakistan, Nigeria, United Kingdom, etc. And also all over within US, California, Washington, and Florida. And they seem to really appreciate and like the course because it's rated about 4.6 out of 5. And the reason why I think they're doing it is they really want to get an understanding of what is metaverse, who is creating this metaverse, and how can they actually gain a really decent and good understanding as a starting point if they want to explore further skills development in the world of metaverse.
Wow.
And I'm sure this is a skill that's applicable in a lot of different jobs. Does this course prepare people for jobs in the metaverse or for other positions in today's job market?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. Fundamentally, clearly, if the metaverse is got a massive, big future, whether you think about virtual reality, whether you think about augmented reality, whether you think about the industries where this is applicable, retail, shopping, or even education. Like if you think of it as you're a medical student, you want to learn about surgery. Now you could be in a metaverse, sit next to the actual surgeon performing a surgery and learn from that experience versus just kind of reading through a book or maybe going to a lab, right? So that's kind of the profound impact. So what it means is it's going to create opportunity for lots of people to develop new experiences, new applications that are part of the metaverse. So definitely there's a lot of opportunity from a job creation standpoint. Now, with that said, when we look at Coursera, we think of it as the digital jobs, the world of digital jobs. There are about 100 million plus digital jobs expected over the course of the next 3 years, according to Microsoft.
Wow.
And these are, software engineering, data analysts, AI, or machine learning, or cybersecurity and cloud, and so on and so forth. So on Coursera, we have professional certificates. There are about 32 professional certificates that do not require any prior job experience or any prior degree for you to get started with and pursue any of these careers, right? Whether it's IT or project management or design, etc. Get started with a certificate. In about 6 to 9 months, you can finish these certificates and get ready for jobs and careers.
Okay.
And I can talk more about the meta certificates themselves as well.
Got you. And I know that we're running short on time, but I'd like to at least ask you a couple of quick things here. Number one, why did Coursera and MetaPartner offer this learning content? And then how does the actual course itself foresee the metaverse and other, I guess, immersive technologies transforming the way that we learn in the future? Really quick.
Yeah, fantastic. First of all, I think Meta has made massive investment in terms of where this connected experience is going to evolve, right? As we discussed. So metaverse is a big investment area. And I think as I think about where the opportunity is, according to a January 2022 Ipsos poll, 38% of the people surveyed reported familiarity with metaverse, but less than 1 in 5 Americans could correctly define the term. So one of the big objectives is to kind of make sure we educate the world about metaverse. The other piece is by 2030, metaverse is expected to have 5 billion users, according to CD. and could generate up to 5 trillion in impact by then, according to McKinsey. So I think it is imperative for all of us to kind of learn about this, but also just really from an economic benefit standpoint, it's going to be huge.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's less than 10 years away, as you said.
That's right.
Amazing, Siobhan. How can viewers get more information or enroll in the Metaverse course today?
Yeah, they just go to Coursera.org, search on the top search bar, what is Metaverse, and they can get started.
Awesome. Thanks so much for joining us today and for all the knowledge you've imparted on us to start the year off right.
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right. Well, let's just keep the ball rolling here. Let's keep on learning because we have seniors too that we need to get up to speed on tech. That's next.
Welcome back to Main Street Living. Quincy, Danielle, over the past couple of decades, technology and the internet have become an integral part of our everyday lives. And trying to get by in today's world without them can make life very challenging or maybe even impossible for some.
Yeah, it's true, Cheryl. Helping bridge the divide, the digital divide, has been important to Cox for many years, but the divide isn't only an economic gap, it's a generational one as well.
That's right. That's why Cox has partnered with San Diego Oasis to launch the Cox Tech Tank and get our older neighbors up to speed on today's latest technology. Let's take a look.
Cox and San Diego Oasis have partnered for a number of years now. We've got a great relationship. I know that here at Oasis, they are really passionate about making sure that their population is up to date on current technology.
The application should look like a little pin.
So the Cox Tech Tank came about after a lot of discussions about how we could tailor support for older Americans. They could come to Oasis, and Cox at the Tech Tank would be able to support them with any questions that they may have had at their speed in an area that's comfortable for them.
And then you have to go into you find privacy.
Right now, technology is such a desired topic for older adults and people in general, but specifically older adults, especially after the pandemic. We realize that there's a big gap in helping these folks learn what they need to know to connect to family, friends, doctors, other people in the community. So this partnership is allowing us to provide that technology learning that people desire. It gives people the opportunity to have hands-on application, have their questions answered in one-on-one sessions so that they can have that individual time. We have these wonderful demonstrations that people can come in and learn about things just that everyone wants to know. Internet, streaming services, stuff that gets you through your everyday life.
What we talked about is Lyft and Uber. When I grew up, we had a bat and a ball and a glove, and we went out in the field. That was our recreation. Nowadays, kids are doing this. It's just the way it is. That's where we have evolved. And you can become conversant here when you take courses like are offered here and expose yourself to the high quality of information imparted as well as the instructors.
Okay. All right, so we'll go back to search here.
Yeah, but when you're using maps, it's important that you push that button because that button is red right now. It should be blue.
That's our present location.
Yes. I help the members that come in here with specific questions or issues that they may have with technology, and I can give them individual one-on-one help. I can also do workshops that are focused on a single topic like Google Maps, Bluetooth, Uber, and go over them how to use the application.
Our goal at Cox is really to make sure that we're building connections that are meaningful. And what we wanted to do at the Cox Tech Tank is we really wanted to make sure that no one was left behind and that they can continue making those important connections.
Wow, Cox is doing some amazing things there. And guys, it's never too late to keep on learning. I love it.
Yes, I love that there's people that still want to learn even at that age. They want to be in the loop, and you can get more information or sign up for one of the many Tech Tank classes at san-diego.oasisnet.org.
Nice. I wish I can get my mother in Texas to sign up for these classes too. It's a struggle at times. But straight ahead, more of Main Street Living. Stay right there. Hey guys, welcome back to Main Street Living. What a great show. Great to be back. Happy New Year to you ladies.
Oh,
Yes,
Happy New Year.
I have some SMART goals to make now.
Yes, definitely do all of that. And of course, for the viewer, you guys can catch our shows, on our Cox Contour app as well.
And brand new episodes of Main Street Living Mondays at 9 p.m. local time. So join us then as we take another stroll down Main Street.